commutation of pension. Basically, whether commutation is advantageous or not taking commutation of pension is advantageous. How much money do you get on retirement, and know how much benefit you will get one by one. So this is basically about commutation of pension calculation, and how much pension can be commuted. It is the government servant has the option to commute up to 40% of pension that is paid in lump sum with reference to the commutation table. Now we will see basically what is pension. Then we will go deep into the commutation of pension also. Pension is the monthly payment from government admissible to the permanent employees who retire or retired with a qualifying service of not less than 10 years. Then only pension will be given. And let us see first about the pension emoluments one by one. Then we can understand what is commutation of pension in detail. Pension is nothing but 50% of basic pay only. It doesn't include DA. DA will be separately calculated. 50% of the basic pay on retirement, only on retirement, or 50% of average emoluments drawn during the last 10 months of the service. Either of these two will be taken. Whichever is beneficial to the government servant, that will be taken. Either 50% of the basic pay last drawn at the time of retirement, or the last average emoluments for the last 10 months in the service. Whichever is beneficial, that will be taken. Then comes the minimum pension is 9,000 as per 7th CPC pay commission, that is 9,000 per month with effect from 1/1/2016. It should not be less than 9,000. Even the calculation, if it is less than 9,000, minimum 9,000 should be paid. Emoluments for pension will be pay in the pay level of pay matrix and it does not include DA, as we have seen already. And emoluments for service gratuity, retirement gratuity, death gratuity will be pay plus DA, but only pension it will be only pay. DA will not be included, but pensioners they will be given DR, okay, that is other than the pension. And now we will see what is commutation of pension. Basically, every pensioner at the time of retirement will be having two options. It is not compulsory for a pensioner to commute. Either to commute, there are two options. One is either he can commute the certain percentage up to 40% of pension. That means maximum is 40%, and you are allowed to commute even 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%, up to 40% you can commute. It is up to you. And the lump sum amount will be paid, which is called the commutation of pension. So if you get 100% of pension, in that 40% you can commute, and the government will pay the lump sum amount in lieu of commuting the 40% of pension, whatever it is. So it is not compulsory, it is not mandatory to commute, it is only an optional. It is up to the employee whether to commute or not. In this video, if you stay till the end, you will come to know whether commutation of pension is advantageous or disadvantageous, and on what factors commutation of pension will be advantage or disadvantage in detail. And we will see the pension calculation also, commutation of pension calculation also. And the second option is that he may not be commuting the pension, he not to commute the pension and take full pension every month. So that is also possible. That is, these are the options that are available for a pensioner. And at the time of retirement, if an employee opts for commutation of pension, a lump sum amount is paid to the pensioner, while on the balance pension begins. In simple terms, commutation means a lump sum payment in lieu of periodic payments of pension. That means instead of a certain percentage of pension, the lump sum amount will be paid. Okay. Then you can see that residuary pension, there will be an amount of pension also even after commutation. You can commute only up to 40%. So remaining 60% will be paid as pension, and this 40% of the pension will be paid immediately on retirement. That is there, and or after giving the option. Residuary pension means original pension minus commuted pension. That means certain portion of the pension we have seen that we can commute. That means we can sell it to the government, so that certain amount will be given to us in lump sum at the time of retirement. and even also you can commute it after up to a period of 1 year also without any medical examination. If you want to commute it after 1 year, there you are subjected for medical examination, then only the commutation of pension is allowed. And dearness relief, however, will continue to be calculated on the basis of the original pension without reduction of the commuted portion. Say suppose if you are having 100 rupees as pension and you have commuted 40 rupees and 60 rupees you are getting the residual pension, that is the original pension minus the commuted pension, and DA will also be given on pension, but this DA, dearness relief, they call for pensioners. DA for employees regular service who are in service, they will call it as DA, and those who are in receipt of pension, it is called dearness relief. And this DR will be, that is DR will be continue to calculate on the basis of the original pension. That means DR will be on the 100 rupees only, not on the 60 rupees after commutation. So even after commutation also DR will be on the original amount of pension. So that is a good information. And commutation of pension, here we can see the commutation of pension calculation and the formula. 40% can be commuted, as we have seen, up to 40%, any amount you can commute, and 60% will be called as reduced pension or residuary pension, and commutation factor will be with reference to the age next birthday as per the commutation factor table. So that commutation factor table I will show you in a while. And the formula for commutation of pension calculation is commuted value of pension, CVP, is equal to portion of the pension commuted, that is 40% or 30% or 20% as you may choose, that amount into commutation factor into 12. Commutation factor will be based on the table given here. This is the formula for calculation of how much of the commuted value of pension you will get at the time of retirement if you choose to commute certain amount of pension. So the commutation factor will be based on the age next birthday, and this age next birthday will be reckoned based on if it is retiring on superannuation, then the age next birthday will be determined with respect to the either of these three. One is the date of superannuation in cases where commutation is required along with PPO, or in second case the date of receipt of application in other cases where medical examination is not necessary, and in case of the date of medical examination when it is necessary. So as we have seen earlier, the medical examination is necessary whenever you commute, whenever you give the option for commutation after 1 year. Before 1 year there is no need for medical examination as such. So the age next birthday for a retiring government servant will generally be the 61 here. Age will be 60, retiring age will be 60. So 61 will be the age next birthday. Then the relative commutation factor is 8.194. So retiring persons, then generally the retiring pension, it will be 8.194 will be taken as the commutation factor. Okay. Then comes the commutation of pension calculation again. After 15 years, what will happen is that we have seen that pension can be commuted up to 40% earlier, and this 40% also will be restored after 15 years. So as soon as you have taken pension today, pension commutation today, if suppose if you have taken pension commutation of 40% amount today, this pension amount, whatever it is commuted, 40%, that will be restored back after 15 years. So tomorrow onwards you will be drawing only 60% of the pension, but after 15 years you will draw the 100%. That is called restoration. The 40% commuted will also be restored, and full pension will be paid after 15 years. So here, if for example, if you can see, the date of retirement is 31/3/2022, date of commutation is 1/4/22. Then restoration of commutation of pension to 100% will be 1/4/2037. That is after 15 years from this date. So this is like this. So here two points, important points are: commutation of pension will be restored after 15 years, and DR will be paid on the original pension only, even though you have taken commutation of pension. And the one more advantage is that in case if a person dies, the entire amount that has been commuted will not be deducted from the family pension. That means family pension, whatever it is given to the family members after the death of the government servant, will have no effect on the, because he will not be asked to repay the commuted value, or nothing will be deducted in the family pension. That means full amount will be paid. So these are three important points with regard to the commutation of pension calculation. Now we will see in detail how the pension calculation, commutation of pension calculation will be done. Let us take for example last basic pay at the time of retirement. Say for example, if an official retires on 31/3/2022, that is the date of retirement DOR. If his basic pay is 1 lakh at the time of retirement, say suppose, and the basic for pension will be naturally 50% of the last pay drawn, that is 50% of 1 lakh, that comes to 50,000, that is the basic of pension. And percentage of commutation will be 40 to 40. Example, for example, you can also take 5% or 10% or 20 or 30 or 35 or 40 up to 40 as per your wish. It is your option. You can take any percentage based on your requirement, but the maximum is 40% you can commute. So for in this example, let us take that 40% has been commuted, and portion of pension commuted will be 40% of the pension, that is 40% of the basic pension, basic for pension, that is 40% of the 50,000, that comes to 20,000. That is the portion that is commuted. So age on next birthday after retirement is 61, because he is retiring on 31/3/2022 after completion of 60 years. The age next birthday will be 61, and commutation factor as we have seen for 61 years it is 8.194. There may be cases of voluntary retirement also, in which the commutation factor may be different because the age next birthday will not be 61 for those going under voluntary retirement. So that is why the table was given for different ages also. Here the commutation factor for this case of 61 years is 8.194, and we have seen the formula for commutation of pension is commuted value of pension is equal to commuted portion. Here the commuted portion is 20,000, and into commutation factor into 12. Here this 12 relates to the number of months. This is the commuted portion per month, that is 20,000 is commuted, and commutation factor we have seen it is 8.194. Therefore if you substitute the formula, the commuted portion it is 20,000, and 8.194 is the commutation factor for 61 years, and 12 is the number of months. So the total amount of commuted value that will be paid to the pensioner at the time of retirement is 19,66,560 in this case. And the residuary pension, that means once this amount has been commuted, 40% has been commuted in the pension from 50,000, 20,000 will be reduced. So 50,000 minus 20,000, that is the original pension, 50,000 minus 20,000, that is the commuted pension, that will come to the residuary pension or reduced pension, that will be 30,000 will be paid from 1/4/22 onwards, and DA will be on the 50,000 and not 20,000. As I have told already, DA will be on the original pension only. Even though the amount has been commuted, the DA will be on 50,000 and not the commuted residuary pension. It will be on the original pension only. That is also a benefit. And the period of reduced pension will be for a period of 15 years. We have seen that after 15 years, the commutation pension, that is the pension that has been commuted, will be restored. So the period of reduced pension will be for a period of 15 years, that is from in this case 1/4/2022 to 31/3/2037, and that pension will be at a rate of rupees 30,000 plus DA on 50,000. Okay, that is there. And restoration of normal pension will start after 15 years, that is 1/4/2037 onwards, at a rate of original pension, that is 50,000 plus DA as on that date. You have to remember that this DA is calculated as on date. but the DA at the time of 1/4/2037 will only be given. Don't worry. And one more point is that the main thing you should remember is reduced pension 30,000 will be paid for 15 years with effect from 1/4/2022 to 31/3/2037, and normal pension 50,000 will start from with effect from 1/4/2037. So this is all about the commutation of pension calculation. Here this is very important as far as this DA is on the original pension. And now we will come to the part that commutation of pension, yes or no, which is beneficial. Whether you have to say yes for commutation of pension at the time of retirement or no to the commutation of pension at the time of retirement, which is beneficial. Case 1, you will go if you opt for commutation of pension. The commuted value of pension is commuted portion, commutation factor, and 12 we have already seen in this case. It is 19,66,560. And in addition to this commuted value of pension, you will also get a pension of remaining part, that is 30,000 per month plus DA on 50,000. That you will get. These are the amounts that you will get in case 1. That is where you have opted for commutation of pension. Say suppose in the second case you have not opted for commutation of pension. So let us see what is that you get. Normal pension for 15 years would be, say, here you should understand that once this 15 years period horizon is over, in both cases, either if you opt for commutation or if you don't opt for commutation also, the pension will be the original pension only. There won't be any difference as such after 15 years. So I am only calculating for the 15 years period for both cases, so that you can understand the entirety. For normal pension, the 15 years period would be actually 50,000 into 12 into 15. I have broken down into two pieces so that you can understand, because here 30,000 into 12 into 15 plus 20,000 into 12 into 15 will be 50,000 into 12 into 15. It is normal thing. There is nothing as such, but to make you understand that this portion of amount is equal to this portion, and this is what he is getting in addition, because this is the residuary pension, this is the commuted pension in this case. Okay, now you can see that you will also get a pension of 30,000 per month plus DA on 50,000. So this is the 30,000 per month plus for a period of 15 years also you will get, and a DA of 50,000 here, and here the same thing is there. What is extra is here you will get a 19,66,000 immediately. Here you will get a 20,000 into 12 into 15 years. For a period of 15 years you will get a pension also. 20 into 12 into 15, that is 36 lakhs. Here you are getting 19 lakhs immediately. Here you are getting 36 lakhs over a period of 15 years. That means month on month some 20,000 will be paid for a period of 180 months. That is 12 into 15. That is 15 years. Okay. So you may have to understand after 15 years both will be the same. Both will be getting the same amount of pension and DA on that, and there won't be absolutely any difference in case of commutation of pension or not commutation of pension. So this 15 years, if you want to choose 19,66,000 now, or you want 36 lakhs over a period of time at a rate of 20,000 for 20,000 every month for a period of 15 years. This is the option that you have to, this is the decision you have to take. Now we will see in detail what are the different aspects in this one, whether yes or no, deciding factors, what are those. So if you opt for commutation of pension, someone may think on both sides. I will tell what are the pros and cons one by one. If you opt for commutation of pension, if you want to take the money immediately, that 19 lakhs in this example, tax free money, this is all tax free, or whatever the commutation of pension, it is a income tax free money. The entire 19 lakhs is tax free, and you can also invest them properly to multiply the amount also. That is well within your option. If in post office you can even if you deposit in KVP, it may get doubled in 10 years or so, 124 months. That is also there. That is up to you. And do you have any immediate financial aspects to be solved? Then you may go for a commutation of pension. And if you have housing loans or other loans or debts to be cleared, then option for commutation of pension is a good option. And marriage of daughter, purchase of house, medical emergency is there, or any other higher education for the daughter or son, some amount is required. In such a cases, this option is good. One more important point, and this is the first point you should first think of when you opt for a commutation of pension, is that if you want to gift it to your children, you should think well before one important point. Provided you have enough money to get on with the residuary pension alone for the coming 15 years. That means if you have adequate money, if the residuary pension is self-sufficient for you or your wife or your husband, whatever it is, your spouse, that if that is sufficient for you, you may go and give it as a gift to your children. Otherwise, the second option will be better. So, if the pensioner dies, the other important point is that if the pensioner dies, no commuted amount will be deducted in the family pension. So, these are the points you may consider while opting for the commutation of pension. And in second case, if you don't opt for a commutation of pension, what are the points or deciding factors that you may have to consider are, if you haven't enough money to get on with the residuary pension alone for a living for the coming 15 years, then you do not opt for a commutation of pension. That means if you are getting a meager pension of 10,000 or 7,000, that is not good enough for you to continue your living for the coming 15 years. It is not a right option to commute a pension. Or if you don't have the proper way of investing, if you don't know proper way of investing to get your money multiply, in such a case also, better don't go for commutation. And one more important point that nobody tells is that if your children are not caring for you and are expecting only money from you, in case you cannot protect the money yourself from them or any other family members even, in such a case also, it is better you don't go and opt for a commutation of pension. It is a sad part, but it happens, and you should also consider this point also before giving an option. And one more point is that if there is a chance that you may have to part the amount unnecessarily to someone you don't wish to, and in case you receive some money which is against your interest, in such a case also, better you don't opt for a commutation of pension. So these are the points which you may have to consider either to opt for a commutation of pension or not. In general, if you go by the point that some 16 lakhs in this case, difference is there. Earlier you have seen in the previous case you have seen some difference is there. Some 19 lakhs amount is given here, and some 36 lakhs is there. That means 20 lakhs and say let us round it to 20 lakhs. Here it is 36 lakhs. Some 16 lakhs difference is there if you don't opt pension also. But one may say that this 20 lakhs can be easily doubled within 15 years and it may come up to 40 lakhs also. That is also there. And one more point you have to remember, that is that somebody may be having some important aspects, as I have told here, like this is a tax-free money. And one more point is that when you commute, the remaining amount of pension, the residuary pension will be in the less tax bracket also. That also you may have to consider as a point in commutation also. So these basically, it depends on you. It depends on what your financial situation you are in, and in such a way you can take a proper decision. It is up to you. I have given all the points, I have put forth all the points before you, and it is up to you to decide basing on these all these aspects and tick one by one and you take a decision. And one more point is that there are a few FAQs that I would like to tell you. First FAQ is if a person has commuted 30% of his pension on retirement, whether he can commute the remaining 10% of his pension later. The point is there is no provision for second option of pension commutation after the first option becomes absolute. That means a person can commute the pension only once. The second time commutation is not possible. So a conscious decision has to be taken on the amount on percentage on what percentage of pension he is going to commute. So only once you may have to take a decision. Then what is reduced or residual or residuary pension? All these terminology is same. Reduced or residual or residuary pension is the part of pension which is payable after deducting the commuted portion of pension. That we have seen already. From what date is the normal pension restored? The commutation portion of the pension is restored after 15 years from the date of commutation. It is from the date of commutation, provided that when commutation amount was paid more than one occasion, there will be certain times that there will be a revision of upward revision of pension also based on the pay commission or whatever it is. In such a case, there will be the portion of commutation amount will be paid again to the pensioner. Then the respective committed amount of pension will be restored on completion of 15 years from the respective dates. That means first time first time it is commuted, and second time is also commutation value is paid based on the pay commission or whatever it is on the second occasion. Then first time it will be restored after 15 years from the first time. Second time will be restored, pension will be restored to the normal only after completion of the 15 years from the respective second time date. So it is like that. And fourth FAQ is any authorization for restoration of committed portion of pension after 15 years is required from PAO or the CPAO, that is the accounts officer? No. Restoration of committed portion of pension of 15 years is to be made automatically by the bank or the post office if your pension is in post office. So this is also there. You need not give a letter, it will be automatically restored after 15 years. FAQ 5. Whether the family can be given the benefit of 40% commutation if a pensioner dies before exercising option. Say suppose the person has died before giving an option for commutation of pension, whether the family can get? No. Since the commutation does not become absolute in such cases, the benefit cannot be given to the family members. So here the pension, the commutation of pension will be absolute it can be without medical examination before 1 year, and it will be with the medical examination after a year. And commutation without medical examination, persons in receipt of the retiring pension or superannuation pension or compensation pension, they can commute up to 40% of pension without undergoing the medical examination if they apply the commutation before expiry of 1 year reckoned from the date of retirement. And in case of the date of issue of final orders, in case of pension granted against finalization of departmental or judicial proceedings and issue of final orders therein. Okay, this is like that. And the sixth FAQ is, can commutation of pension can be made to the government employee against whom departmental or judicial proceedings have been instituted before the date of his retirement, or pensioner against whom such proceedings are instituted from the date of retirement? The answer is no. Commutation of pension cannot be paid pending disciplinary cases, either it is the employee or the pensioner. So these are the few FAQs that will help you in calculation of pension calculation. Thank you. Please subscribe to Career Post for more updates.